Bonjour, welcome to the Cranky Factory. I'm Sue Truman, and I'm so happy to be here at Festival du Bois 2021. And I'm going to talk about crankies today. I have 7 different ways that you can make a cranky. And so we're going to just get right into it. This is a cranky right here. It's an old storytelling art form, centuries old. I have 7 different crankies to show you, 7 different ways to make one with materials you might have around the house. Different ways to illustrate the scroll. This is the scroll right here. And then, if you want to keep going with things, some ideas for adding miniatures to your cranky. So I'm going to get started with this one right here. This is a cardboard shipping container. And as you can see, because this is Festival du Bois, I covered it with wrapping paper. And so crankies are essentially, it's 3 things. It's a box, and then you need 2 spindles. And for this, I'm using 3/8 of an inch wooden dowels, and then you need a scroll to tape to the 2 dowels. And for this one, I'm using a plastic called Tyvek, Tyvek, but you could also use paper, and I'll show you lots of different options for the scroll. So, and I also have little feet on the bottom. I use little wooden spools. And that is totally optional, but sometimes I just like the way it looks. When I'm cutting the scroll to go in the box, I wanted to show you this. I usually fill up the box from top to bottom with the scroll. And I just leave like 1/4 of an inch at the top and bottom so it doesn't rub against the ceiling or the floor. But if you fill up the box with the scroll, then it will more likely just move across more smoothly. So, number 2, what do I want to show you? This is a little maple sugar candy box, and it already has this wonderful little window cut out. And for the scroll, I'm using a kind of tissue paper called Hanji, Hanji. It's from South Korea, and it's like a tissue paper, except that there's fibers woven into it, which makes it very strong, and it hugs the spindle really nicely, and it takes pen and ink and stamping really well. For the spindles here, I'm using chopsticks, wooden chopsticks. And then, as you can see, I just put some little beads on top. And I used rubber stamping for these leaf images, and I just colored it in with marker. Okay, third. This is a matchbox, just kitchen matches. For the spindles, I'm using colored pencils, so pencils work just great, and if the box isn't too big. And then, as you can see, I cut out this little cabin shape to put on the top, just to make it kind of cute. So matchboxes work just great. Number 4, this is a wooden tea box. This is maple blueberry tea. And I'll let you see that beautiful little painting on the tea box. And so as you can see, I don't have a scroll in this yet, but I'm using, let's see, these are wooden pickup sticks. If anybody remembers that old-fashioned game of pickup sticks. Just happened to have some red ones. And then I glued the clothespins on top, along with miniature little teacups. I'm really into miniatures right now. And also, I have feet on this box as well. And these are commercially made. Sometimes they're called jewelry box feet or music box feet. I just happen to have some of those because, of course, this is the Crankie factory. I have lots of supplies. But I glued those on the bottom. I just really liked the way it looked. So I look forward to making a scroll for this. I just love the way the box turned out. Next, I don't know what number this is. This is a vertical Crankie, where the scroll's going up and down instead of horizontally, made out of maple cream, cookies. Oh my goodness, keep these away from me, my downfall. For the scroll, I used grocery bag paper. You could use butcher paper, grocery bag paper. You can just cut a couple strips and tape them together and make a nice long piece. And then I just used pen and ink for the illustration. This is 6. This is a soapbox. For the spindles, I used bamboo skewers from the kitchen drawer. And again, I glued little clothespins on top, and I just had some little beads. And for the scroll, I'm using cotton fabric. And for these teeny tiny little Crankies, I often use fabric. In the 1840s and 1850s, when moving panoramas were the most popular, and they were very big. They were like 8 feet high and hundreds of feet long, the scroll was. They used cotton for that, and they painted on it. So it's kind of a traditional material to use for this art form. Let's see, which way am I going? Hit this way. Little soapbox. And then last but not least, I have a cabin Crankie. And this is made from a food takeout box. I used Tyvek for the scroll, and I'm actually, these wooden dowels here, they're actually extra big bamboo skewers that you would use for the barbecue. And again, this is a vertical Crankie. So, and I used rubber stamps and ink to make the pictures on this. So, 7 different ways you could make a Crankie. I hope this gives you some ideas of materials you might have at home. And I'll be back in a minute to show you how to put the scroll in the box. So stick around. Okay. Hi everyone. Okay, now I wanted to talk a little bit about making the box and how to load the scroll into the box. So there's lots of different ways to do this. So for this cardboard box, usually what I do is I will just draw a little margin, a little border around it, maybe 1 inch or 3/4 of an inch. And then I'll take a box cutter. This is an adult tool, so adults, please be careful. I'll cut it out with a box cutter, or you could use a kitchen knife or an X-Acto knife. And then to make the holes in the cardboard for the spindles, I use an awl. Again, this is an adult tool, so please, adults, be careful. I'll poke a hole in this way and this way, and then, of course, before I put the feet on, I'll make 2 holes in the bottom. And then I can adjust the holes later after I have the spindles in and the scroll in the box. But don't make the holes really big so that the spindle is loose. You want a little bit of tension. So this, I've made hundreds of crankies in the last 10 years, and this is the easiest way I've found to get the scroll in the box and to tape it to the spindles. I take the spindles out and I put the scroll down, or put the box down, and then I put the scroll inside the box, just like that. Just put it in there, and then I put 1 spindle in, like that. And then I put the tape on, and masking tape I have found works the best for taping paper to the spindle in general. So I pull it back a little bit, and what you want to do is attach the tape right to the spindle. And then you're going to start cranking it. Come back here. Then you start cranking it to the other end. And I have lots of tutorials on my website, thecrankyfactory.com. Lots of different ways to do this. So if you're interested in making, go to my website. Okay, so now I've cranked it to the other end. I'm going to put the other spindle in. Don't let go of the end. So I have a piece of masking tape here, and I need 1 more piece. Don't you go away. Okay, so I have the tape on the end. Now I'm going to crank it back, and I want to stick the tape to the stick, to the spindle. There. And now I'll crank it back, and we're ready to go. I'm pretending I'm at the Mackin house right now giving a cranky workshop, and here is my one of my name tags from Festival du Bois. I play in the band Poto Rhythmi, and we are at Festival du Bois every single year. It's like the best. So I'll be back in a minute to show you how to add miniature. Hi everyone. So this last year I've been spending a lot of time at home, like most of us have, and I've been focusing on making smaller crankies and also on adding miniatures to these little scenes, and I just love that. So I just wanted to share a few ideas on how you could add miniatures to go along with your cranky. So this little sandwich board sign, it's actually just the window that was cut out for this box. And so you could make a little sign to go along with your cranky show. This is a little broom because you have to sweep out the cabin. This is a twig from the yard and some raffia strips. You could also use string or twine, and then I just used black thread and glue. I glued it on there and wrapped some black thread around. So really cute, really, come on, stand up. There you go. Really cute little miniature to make. Next, this is a little bench to go in front for people to sit. This is 2 popsicle sticks glued together, and then I cut a cork in half, and also the end of one of the popsicle sticks I glued to the bottom here just to make it a little bit more stable. That makes just a little bench for the front. Here's a little pie. This is a bottle cap. And then if you have air clay, you could use for the pie part, the pie crust, or you can make flour salt dough and then paint it, whatever. But those are really cute, having fun with that. And finally, just here is some firewood for the stove. So thank you for coming to this workshop today. I look forward to seeing you all in the 2022 Festival du Bois in person, and I hope you will make a cranky. Okay, take good care. Bye-bye.